Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about 10 JRPGs that a lot of people seem to hate. They have sort of developed a bad reputation even though most of them are great games. So today I'm here to tell you that in my opinion, these 10 JRPGs do not deserve the hate. So let's begin! Number 10. Chrono Cross. Despite being one of the most beloved JRPGs on the PS1, a lot of people hate Chrono Cross. But you wanna know who exactly? Chrono Trigger fans! Yes, I've seen people who dislike both games, but that's extremely rare, or people who only played Cross and disliked it, but I'd say 90% or more of its hatred comes from die-hard fanboys and fangirls of Trigger. Me, I like both games, and I also know a lot of people who like both, but what most Trigger fans never got, don't get, and probably never will, is that Cross is not Chrono Trigger 2! Even Masato Kato, director and writer of the game, said so. It was called Cross for a reason, so people will differentiate both games and appreciate them as such, as two separate entities merely connected by alternative universes. So fans are like, hey, let's hate Chrono Cross just because it's not Chrono Trigger 2. You've gotta be kidding me. Now, if you hate this game for its gameplay, story, characters, or whatever, without being a completely biased person, then it's respectable. Nobody's forcing you to love or like this game. But hating it just because it's not Chrono Trigger 2, man, that's just dumb. Number 9. Artonelico Koga, Knell of RCL. I get it, you hate it when developers change battle mechanics in the series. I agree with you, but only if it's for the bad, like really bad. I think this third entry in the Artonelico series ended up with decent combat, still enjoyable, the formula even remained the same. You were supposed to defend the heroine while she's singing to cast powerful magic. In the meantime, you and your party members can go berserk with attacks in a system with acceptable controls. Even so, most fans hated the change, and man, Ghost, the developers, were aware of the hatred, which is why the next entry in the series, Art No Search, went back to being turn-based. But is Artonelico 3 a bad game? No. Does it deserve the hate just for going from turn-based to a straight Tales of clone? No. It deserves the criticism like Final Fantasy VII Remake got, but hatred? Not in my opinion. I think this is a great game with nice combat, but I'm kinda glad Ghost returned to the turns formula right afterwards. Number 8. Chaos Wars. While most of the games in this list are pretty well known, I decided to include this really obscure one. It's a hidden gem on the PS2, a crossover that features characters from games like Shadow Hearts, Spectral Souls, Grow Lancer 5, etc. It got some criticism for its slow interface during battle, which is respectable, I agree. It's also a massive grindfest and some gamers didn't like that, I respect that too. But the biggest and most lethal flaw Chaos Wars has is its legendary English dub. It's beyond terrible and people hate the game for that. The people who localized this game invited some of their completely unexperienced family members to dub it. Yeah, real story, because they had no money to pay for decent voice actors. So yeah, it's horrible and can destroy the experience of any gamer out there, because it has a lot of dialogue. However, hatred towards it will be 100% justified if it didn't feature the option to change the dub to Japanese. That's right, this is one of the very few JRPGs on the PS2 which allows the player to change the dub. Thank goodness it's there. They probably did that when they localized it because they knew everyone will abhor the English dub. So there, your hatred is automatically inexcusable if it's only about the voice acting. Change it to Japanese and thank me later. Number 7. Grandia III. Grandia III, my favorite in the series. Very rarely do I see people criticizing, I don't know, the gameplay, the graphics, the music, or the combat, which is the best in the series. with that horrendous opening, man. I couldn't agree with you more. Fortunately, the opening music is just there for a bit and you won't have to ever hear it again. 3D models look a little bit on the, what do the haters say? On the Disney side? Right, whatever floats your boat, buddy. So why all the hatred then? Well, they didn't like the damn story. I mean, what the hell is wrong with it? Guy meets mysterious girl, saves her, mom helps him, friends join, ancient evil awakens, and the power of friendship is the only thing that can defeat it. It's every JRPG generic plot in the world. If that bugs you that much, well, then you should hate about 80% or more of JRPGs out there because they all have the same freaking plot! Number 6. Star Ocean: The Last Hope. This game shares the exact same reasons as Grandia III. Apparently everything is wrong with the story. The rest seems fine, some criticism here and there, some flaws, nothing worth really hating. Except the nasty spikes in the 360 version, but that's just me, I think. Going back to the plot, I dare say it's much better than in Grandia III, and I really like the lore, the pacing, the twists, and the continuity of the chronology, but it's mother-frigging limo! She alone apparently ruined the experience for everyone. For starters, I don't think her English actress is that bad. Annoying for sure, but there's worse. I mean, wanna see some horrendous voice acting in English? Then check out Chaos Wars like I mentioned, or Arc Rise Fantasia on the Wii, or Dragon Slayer on the TurboGrafx. I can keep going, you know. Miracle was annoying as well, but there weren't a lot of complaints about her. Well, just like in Chaos Goddamned Wars, you can change the dub to the original Japanese. Are Limel and Miracle still annoying in Japanese? They are in both languages, but not enough to merit hating the game. It's just a couple of unlikable characters and that's it. The rest of the cast is stellar in my opinion. Oh right, that twist with Edge going emo over... sorry, no spoilers. But anyway, I thought that scene was awesome, but I guess that didn't sit well with a lot of people. Well, you may hate it for your own reasons, but with the exception of Limel's English dub, there is absolutely nothing objectively wrong with this game. Number 5. Tales of Legendia. Why a lot of people hate this game is for a short number of reasons. It was co-developed by a studio called Project Melphis, who made things a little bit different, but honestly, as a big Tales fan, as someone who has played nearly every single title out there, I don't see a lot of difference. Sure, there's no multiplayer, but most Tales fans play alone anyway, so what's the big deal? Its 2D beat-em-up combat isn't the best, I admit, but it's far from being the worst. Same with its encounter rate. How in blazes does Tales of Destiny get a lot of praise when those two issues are far worse on it? Shirley is annoying, Norma is annoying, but hey, aren't Limel and Miracle worse? My point is, usually most JRPGs have that one character who's really annoying, but eventually grows on you. I hated Norma like many of you did, but near the end, she ended up growing on me, especially after going through her character quest. There's nothing wrong with Tales of Legendia, and if there is, it's because it has flaws that can be easily found in a lot of other JRPGs of its time, and they have them much more worse than Legendia, and something tells me you know that, but you just don't want to admit it. Number 4. Valkyria Revolution. I love with a passion Valkyria Chronicles as much as you do, but this is a spin-off. Can you not read the title? It says Revolution, not Chronicles. It means it's different, it's something else, it's not Chronicles, so it's a spin-off, not a strategy RPG or an action RPG. I get it with Artonelico 3, the third game in the main series changing battle mechanics, but here, at least Sega had the decency to change the name and advertise the game as something different. Does the combat suck? No, it does not. It's not excellent, but it's easy to get into for the most part. Plus, it only has a couple of stupidly broken boss battles, so if that's a killer for you, then I respect that. However, hating this game for not being Chronicles, for not having outstanding combat, is undeserving. It's playable, enjoyable, and my god, it has the best story in this series in my opinion. Dark, mature, political, passionate, not too many classic anime tropes. It makes you question the morals and methods of the characters behind the revenge plot. Trust me, no matter how strongly you may feel about the combat, which I insist is still good, this game's completely worth it for its story, graphics, and music by Yasunori Mitsuda. Number 3. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Look, this one is hard for me because Atlus PR of North America ignored me, so I told them to go to hell. You know the story already, if you don't, then watch my review of this game. So why am I here defending it? Because screw Atlus PR and them alone, not the great minds that developed and published this excellent RPG. Not much hatred here yet, fortunately, but a lot of its reputation is still on the line. They say it's bland and boring, they say the story is hollow. Well, mainline SNT games don't tend to focus a lot on the story, and while I also criticized it in my review, I don't think it was bad at all. Perhaps slightly weaker in comparison with others, but I still thought it was well written and paced. It's just, I mean, what the heck do people want nowadays? They complain about too much talking in JRPGs, and then when there's not, they complain about the lack of it. Jesus, people, make up your damn minds. As for the gameplay, how is it bland and boring? It doesn't have the extremely cryptic and annoying puzzles SMT3 have, nor the obnoxious encounters SMT4 and Apocalypse have, so they got rid of that and now it's bland? You're supposed to be playing in a wasteland, in a ruined Tokyo, and I think they made a lot of emphasis on that, so it looks more ruined than its predecessors. Not knowing where to go sometimes or how exactly you're supposed to get where you're supposed to be going? Sure, it's annoying, but still not enough of a reason to truly hate it. If you still do, then that's just your opinion. We're all entitled to hate whatever we want, but I'm here to tell you that in my opinion, it doesn't deserve the little hate it has nowadays, that's all. Number 2. Code Vein. Souls fans tried to destroy this game back then. Nowadays though, there are hundreds of games inspired by Souls of all kinds. Today, Code Vein is slowly becoming a forgotten action RPG that only God Eater fans probably remember. It barely features in lists about the best modern JRPGs, and all because no one has the balls to stand up for it. No one that loves it, of course. Well, I don't believe for one second this game deserves the hate, especially not since most of it comes from Souls fans who might as well hate most JRPGs in general. Even if they don't and they're big fans of the genre, they can't stop comparing it to the Soulsborne series for obvious reasons, but in a bad connotation. Code Vein is much more than that, offering a story-driven adventure, compelling plot, and character development, something you do not see in any Souls games at all. Besides, and this is based on my own taste of course, it has way more personality than them. All Bandai Namco did was follow a trend that was big enough to extend its influence on the genre. Today, I'm so tired of all the Souls clones, but 3 years ago it was mostly indie games influenced by them, so it was different. In 2022, it just seems that every action RPG wants so badly to have a piece of that, especially AAA games. But that doesn't seem to be an issue for most of you, so why hate on Code Vein then? Number 1. Tales of Symphonia: Dawn of the New World. I think I've made my point very clear thus far. If you're gonna hate on a game, hate it for your own reasons, not because the consensus seems to hate it. Symphonia 2 got a really bad rep mostly for that, practically because of the same reasons as most games in this list. The hatred just extends, thanks to people regurgitating what they heard or read online. Most of the haters of these RPGs, I guarantee, have barely played them or haven't even played them at all. Using my Chrono Cross argument again, most haters are die-hard fans of Symphonia 1. I believe there were some questionable plot decisions regarding the cast of that game in this one, which made them dislike it. I don't see why, unless they never made it past the first several hours of the game. Not to spoil anything, but you eventually reach a point where everything comes clear and the Symphonia 1 cast is just fine. The explanation the plot gives for this is pretty solid and it makes perfect sense to me. As for Emil, the protagonist, people found him silly, annoying, and cowardly. This was made on purpose though, to create contrast with Ratatosk, the evil lord now living inside Emil's body. It wouldn't have made any sense otherwise, mainly due to the fact that Emil gets his own development through it. Gameplay-wise, having small monsters for a while instead of human party members like in all other Tales games, yes, was annoying, I'll give you that, but it was never a game-breaking deal for me. Martha joins quickly and it doesn't take forever for the Symphonia 1 cast to join. Overall, this is nothing but another ridiculous case of Trigger fans hating on Cross for no valid reason. But then again, that's just my opinion as always, not a fact. Seriously guys, if you're gonna hate or love something, I think you have to do it for your own reasons, not because somebody else told you to or because everybody else is doing it. So if you hate these JRPGs, well, leave your reasons in the comments, but as long as they are your own reasons. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!